this is Shari Levitin. I'm at my beautiful home in Park City, Utah, and I had a thought, so I wanted to share it with you. I just learned something very interesting, and that is why we talk more than we listen. Now here's the thing, if you've been in sales longer than a minute, you know that it's more important to listen than to talk, yet we still talk more than we listen. So I just read an article I thought I'd share with you in the Harvard Business Review, and here's what it says. We talk 60% of the time if someone will listen. When we're on social media, the statistic is even worse. It's 80% of the time. It's all about me, 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 me. Now, the reason is, there's a scientific reason, is there's a portion of the brain that lights up that's the same portion as when you have cocaine, good food, or sex. It's the reward and recognition part of your brain. And when we talk about ourselves, that part of our brain lights up. In short, it feels really good when we talk about ourselves. But as salespeople, it's the worst thing we can do. After all, wouldn't we rather have our customers have that feeling of euphoria? So I'm going to give you 3 things that I'd like you to focus on this week so that you'll prompt yourself to listen more than you talk. Number 1 is do what great improv artists do. Great improv artists use the phrase yes and. So as you're listening to your prospect, your coworker, it may even be a loved one, to get them to tell you more, say yes, and then what happened? Now this technique is especially useful if you disagree with somebody. Don't ever disagree with a customer. If you disagree, say yeah, and have you ever thought about this? So yes and keeps the conversation going and keeps the listening happening. The second thing is be curious. Those who are curious, legitimately curious about the person in front of them, are going to keep asking questions. You're going to say, tell me more. Well, how did you know that? When did you start? Adopt a mindset of curiosity. And finally, the last thing I'd like you to think about is when you're listening, don't just listen to a customer's words. Listen to the emotion behind the words. Watch their body language. Listen for their tonality. Listen with heart. And if that's not enough for you not to default into the behavior of talking more than you listen, just think about how if you listen more than you talk, you'll be able to afford better food and, well, let's just say, a more romantic night out. I'm Shari Levitin, wishing you a great week.